Good day, greetings. Welcome to the first unit of vocabulary development in English medium of instruction classroom. Right. So today we are focused on Unit 1, and Unit 1 is the first four words and their translations. Right. So I've actually attached my email there just in case you have some questions that you want to ask. We can do that. But let's get into the business of the day. Okay. So now the lesson objectives is that by the end of this lesson, you should be able to define and explain the meaning of the terms magnet, magnetic poles, magnetic field lines, and attraction in English, right? We are also going to identify the examples of these words in everyday life, and then after that, we are going to translate them, the four words, into Afrikaans, Setswana, and isiXhosa, which is very interesting because I also don't understand a little bit of isiXhosa and Afrikaans, but I'm going to try. Right. So now let's get into the first word. So the first word that we have is magnet. So from physics, magnet is an object that can attract certain materials such as iron, nickel, and cobalt. Right. So a magnet has the ability to pull, meaning to attract, or to push, meaning to repel other magnetic objects. And then every magnet has two poles, which is the north and the south pole. And we have natural magnets. We also have artificial magnets like your electromagnets and some bar magnets, right? I hope once you do practicals, when you do the topics of magnetism, the teacher will show you that, right? And then now let's get into the translations, right? So a magnet in isiXhosa is actually called imagneti, right? What? Imagneti. And isiXhosa is called magnet, right? You translate it to what? Magnet. In Afrikaans, it's called magnet, right? You see there, I'm also trying to get into the words, but let's try to learn. Let's try to learn. Yeah. So now, some of the examples that we have for magnets, you can see there we have bar magnets. You can see one of the magnets is actually attracting some nails, and then you have your other magnet attracting some coins there, right? So let's get into the second word, which is magnetic poles. Right. So magnetic poles are the two ends of a magnet where the magnetic force is the strongest. So in most cases, you will see it has your north and south, right? So like poles repel each other, which is something that we are going to talk about later in the video, which is repulsion. The magnetic field is the strongest at the poles, right? So now let's talk about the translations then. So in isiXhosa, we call magnetic poles zipali ze-magnet. And in Setswana, we say dipali tsa makenete. Now in Afrikaans, which is very difficult for me to say this word, we say magnetise pole. Yeah, I think I got that one. Magnetise pole, right? So that is how you translate magnetic poles in those three languages. And then some of the examples that we have there, you will see we have a magnet with some field lines, and we have north and south, right? Right. So let's move on to the third word that we have. So the third word is going to be magnetic field lines. So these are the invisible lines that show the direction and the strength of the magnetic force, right? Or the magnet's force. Right. So magnetic field lines move from north to south pole outside the magnet. They are closer together where the magnetic force is strong and spread out where it is weak. So they help us visualize how magnetic force acts in space. So let's look at the translations that we have. We have that in isiXhosa, this is a very difficult word. If maybe isiXhosa is not your native language, but it says imiga yebhala yomasputi. Yo, very difficult word. And then we have in Setswana that kemila yamasimo amagnete. That is how we say it in Setswana. And in Afrikaans, we say magnetes fitliner, right? Magnetes fitliner, which is very difficult. I don't know if that is the correct pronunciation, but I think you get what I'm trying to read there. Magnetes fitliner, right? So you will see on the pictures that we have there, we have the same picture from the previous slide with some field lines, and we do have the north and south. It shows you how they attract sometimes when it is north and south, and how they repel when it is north, north, or south, south. Right. Then we go to attraction, which is the last word because we're only doing four words. Remember that. Attraction now is a force that pulls two objects towards each other. So if you have south and then you have north, because they are different, they are going to attract each other, right? And then now attraction occurs when opposite poles, like I just said now, north and south of the two magnets face each other, or when magnet pulls a ferromagnetic material like iron towards it, right? So it is the opposite of repulsion, which you will see in the next study unit by Mr. Kagiso, right? So now what do we have? The translations, we have that in isiXhosa, attraction, we say that is ukutsalana, right? Meaning we are attracting, right? And then we go to Setswana. Setswana, we say go gogela, right? Go gogela, that is attraction. And then in Afrikaans, we say aantrekken. I think I am getting somewhere also. I'm getting somewhere. Just like you, I'm struggling, but I'm getting somewhere. Right. Then you will see we have some of the examples there, like slide number 1, where we had some coins be attracted to the bar magnet. So that actually represents attraction. Right. So that is actually the end of our lesson, and I hope that people have learned. You can see that I'm also not perfect from the translations, but we work around it. So this is a way of trying to integrate native languages with our subject, our major subject like your physical sciences, so that we can try to understand what do these words that we say in English actually mean in our native languages. But I hope that you enjoyed the lesson, and keep up and then stay ready for the next lesson, which is unit 2, where you're going to deal with other repulsions. There is a test that you can write, or there's actually a learn activity that you can complete, and let's see each other next time. Yes, thanks.